Hi everyone, welcome to our new video. Today I am trying to walk between Tel Aviv city. Tel Aviv is one of the most expensive city in the world. Now I am in between Tel Aviv Central Bus Station and Hagana Railway Station. And it is a little busy area. One of the most busiest railway station in Tel Aviv is this Hagana railway station. Tel Aviv is the most populous city in the Gush Dan metropolitan area of Israel. Tel Aviv city's population is near 5 lakh. And also financial capital of Israel also Tel Aviv. And also Tel Aviv known as economic and technological center of the country. And also known as global high-tech hub. If East Jerusalem is considered part of Israel, Tel Aviv is the country's second most population city. If not considered East Jerusalem with Israel, Tel Aviv is the most populous city ahead of West Jerusalem. We can see little busy in the road, and also it is a one-way track. And we can see many cars parked here. These roads both sides used as a parking lot. This road is ending to a main street. 5 or 6 roads meeting up there. Tel Aviv's traffic management is appreciable. And this city governed by the Tel Aviv-Yafo municipality. We know Israel's capital is Jerusalem. But there is another one thing. Most of the foreign embassies worked in Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv has the third or fourth largest economy and the largest economy per capita in the Middle East. And also another one thing, Tel Aviv is ranked the fourth top global startup ecosystem hub. I think it is a two-wheeler shop. Many two-wheelers parked here. And this city receives over 2.5 million international visitors annually. There is a university in Tel Aviv. Its name is Tel Aviv University. It is the large university in Israel. Tel Aviv University containing more than 30,000 students. And guys, do you know this city is not too much old? This city founded in 1909. And we know Israel contains many old cities like Jerusalem, Haifa, Tiberias, etc. And later of 19th century and starting of 20th century, there is a old city. The city called Yafo or Jaffa. And it is a more than 3000 years old city. And starting of 20th century, there is a fight between the Jewish and Muslims. Between these fights, some of people lost their lives and many people got injured. The fight continues between these two groups. And finally, Jewish people find a solution. The Jewish people try to move from Jaffa city. They bought some space outside Jaffa and they are make a residential area there and initially given the Hebrew name Ahuzat Bayit. It is stand for house estate. Following years, they changed its name to Tel Aviv, a biblical name. And again it changed to Tel Aviv. Other Jewish suburbs of Jaffa had been established before Tel Aviv. The oldest among them being Neve Tzedek. Tel Aviv was given township status within the Jaffa municipality in 1921 and become independent from Jaffa in 1934. Immigration by mostly Jewish refugees meant that the growth of Tel Aviv soon outpaced that of Jaffa, which had a majority Arab population at the time. In 1948, the Israeli Declaration of Independence was proclaimed in the city, with Tel Aviv named as the founding capital of Israel. A function it retained officially until 1950. After the 1947-1949 Palestine War, Tel Aviv began the municipal annexation of part of Jaffa, fully unified with Jaffa under the name Tel Aviv in April 1950, and was formally renamed to Tel Aviv-Yafo in August 1950. Here we can see it's a new city, but their town plan is very appreciable. They did it all for the future. Without crude oil, Israel is one of the largest economy in the Middle East. We can compare Israel with the richest Gulf countries like Qatar, Oman, Saudi Arabia, and etc. And you know one thing? I have jealousy on Israel. You know why? The nation of Israel was created out of nothing. They had nothing to save for the future. But their foresight and hard work have made Israel a leading nation today. They made a rich nation out of nothing. If we go a little further in this area, we can see many big buildings. I think these buildings are office blocks. It's a slightly warm day. The sun is blazing overhead. We can see a little rush in other side of the road. We now see a long line of vehicles. We can't go now because the signal is red. We can see the huge flow of vehicles on the other side of the road. See, many vehicles are waiting for their turn at the signal. But look here, we can't see any vehicles on this side. This side of road is almost empty. But look at this side. There are many carriages waiting their turn. There is a highway on this side called Ayalon Highway. And all these cars enter the city from that highway. Everyone tries their best to follow the traffic rules here. All these areas are a bit more crowded. I think if we go a little further, we will reach the most important part of the city of Tel Aviv. I think what we see on our right is an office complex. If we look ahead, we can see many big buildings standing tall. Here we can see many two wheelers. I think this is a two wheeler shop or a used two wheeler shop. A few people are walking forward and they seem to be going to the nearest bus stop. The boards of the institutions here are all with a preference for Hebrew. Very few company boards can be seen here in English. By the time we reach here, the space for hikers is very thin. There is a bus stop a little ahead. Although this is a busy area, there are very few people waiting for the bus here. We can see only 2 or 3 people there. Here we can see buses with different colors. The reason for that is that these buses are operated by different companies. This man looks at the LED board. There is to see what time the buses he need to take are coming. We can see LED boards like this in almost every bus stops. The writing on these boards is not only in Hebrew but also in English. Such LED boards help bus passengers a lot. This is not a city service bus, but a city to city service. Low floor buses are not used for longer distance bus services. This area used for a cycle parking. Did you see a two-wheeler driving onto the sidewalk? It is maybe a delivery vehicle. The buildings in this part are very beautiful to see. We can see several rows of buildings in front of us. Did you see that girl riding an electrical scooter with no fear? The girl turned to the right. Maybe that girl's house is there. Again, we came to a traffic signal. Vehicle density in Israel is very high. I feel that the person is here as a vehicle for one. There is not much traffic in this area and there are few vehicles on the road. In these areas, trees have been planted on the sides of the road. These trees that we see here seem to be stunted. Finally, I got the green light to go. In this area, the walkway itself has been elaborately arranged. Electrical scooters are parked on the left side. How did Tel Aviv become one of the most important cities in the Middle East? Even though there are many cities in Israel that are over 1,000 years old, it is something I still don't understand. Because Tel Aviv is the newest city in Israel as a whole. It looks like there are palm trees, that must have been put there to beautify the place. It's great to see these beautiful vestibule buses going. Here we can see many buildings which are made in different shapes. And do you know, Tel Aviv's White City designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2003. And guys, do you know what is White City? It is a collection of over 4,000 buildings in Tel Aviv, from the 1930s building in a unique form of the international style. Commonly, it is known as Bauhaus by German Jewish architects who fled to the British Mandate of Palestine from Germany and other Central and East European countries with German cultural influence. After the rise to power of the Nazis, Tel Aviv has the largest number of buildings in the Bauhaus international style of any city in the world. Preservation, documentation, and exhibitions have brought attention to Tel Aviv's collection of 1930s architecture. In 2003, the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization proclaimed Tel Aviv's White City a World Cultural Heritage Site as an outstanding example of new town planning and architecture in the early 20th century. The citation recognized the unique adaptation of modern international architectural trends to the crucial climatic and local traditions of the city. Bauhaus Center Tel Aviv organizes regular architectural tours of the city. Popular attraction of the city included Old Jaffa, the Eretz Israel Museum, the Museum of Art, Yarkon Park, and the city promenade and beach. Israel's public transportation system is a model for all. Its management is in such a way that common people can use it. They are a model for everyone in city planning. They plan the city by planning the parking spaces in a precise way. Probably because of the signal, we can see many buses here. We have to go to the other side anyway. The green light is on. Unlike usual, here we have an old building. Maybe because of the road is being worked on, it is not tarred very nicely here. Here too there is a signal that we will have. Oh, we got the green signal here. This area is looking good to seeing. They have maintained this place in a very nice way. What we see is a cycle only road. Oh, this is so strange. Don't you see a wooden pole is placed on a block of concrete? And it's not just one. See, a person taking a two-wheeler along the sidewalk. I think this area is related to IT Park. Tel Aviv is the Hebrew title of Theodore Herzl's 1902 novel Alt New Land. It means Old New Land, as translated from German by Nahum Sokolov. Sokolov had adopted the name of a Mesopotamian site near the city of Babylon, mentioned in Ezekiel. It saying, Then I came to them of the captivity at Tel Abib, that lived by the river Chebar and to where they lived. The name was chosen in 1910 from several suggestions, including Herzliya. It was found fitting as it embraced the idea of a renaissance in the ancient Jewish homeland. Aviv is a Hebrew word that can be translated as spring, symbolizing renewal, and Tel is an artificial mound created over centuries through the accumulation of successive layers of civilization built one near the other and symbolizing the ancient. See, this building doesn't have a special beauty, a charm. Look here and see where the vehicles are parked. This is the pedestrian section where these vehicles are parked. Maybe because there is no space to park inside. Did you see this? Here too you can see a wooden pole attached to a concrete block. It is a bus waiting shelter, but not a single person to be seen here. Maybe it's because of office hours. There are many electrical scooters parked here in different colors. Perhaps its owners work in buildings in this area. According to me, this is a good idea to escape from the traffic jams, and during office hours these cars will help a lot. Therefore, in that area, some bicycles with blue and white colors are electrical bicycles for rent. Here you can see bicycles for rent on every street. This is a rather large junction with many roads joining here. This area is a bit crowded with beautiful buildings. Look, this zebra line itself is very long and wide roads can be seen here. It seems to be the heart of the city of Tel Aviv. Everyone is in a terrible hurry, and I am the only one going through this even though I am free like this. I think this area is a great example of urban planning. Even if you look at this building as if you are breaking your neck, you cannot see the top of it. My favorite form of public transport is to travel by bus. Maybe that's why I feel a special beauty to see these buses going. Probably because of there is a traffic block here. Many buses can be seen converging here. If you go to the view of the buildings here, you can see many amazing buildings here. It is a beauty to see some buildings standing like the sky is touching them. If you look at the buildings here, you will know that they are all built in different ways. We can see big buildings like this from a little distance. The building on the left is completely painted blue. I think it's a one-way road and I don't see any oncoming vehicles. It has been said that buildings in this area are the main targets of Hamas or any of its opponents during fightings. So I think the government is paying special attention to save this part. Although many wars have taken place in this meantime, no missiles have been heard of hitting these buildings in this area. Thanks for watching. Next video coming to you soon. Subscribe for more videos.